And now, in today's Spotlight interview, it's time to turn our attention to Karachi's literary scene. Now, next we meet the pioneer of literature festivals in Pakistan, Amina Saeed. This weekend, she'll be holding the 10th edition of her Adab festival, looking to celebrate and preserve literacy and cultural heritage. Well, after many years as the managing director of the publishing house Oxford University Press, she launched her own, Lightstone Publishers, which, along with the event this weekend, aims to put her own spotlight on homegrown talented writers. Well, she came by the studio to talk about all of this and also really important subjects like literacy rates in Pakistan and what needs to be done to improve them. Well, have a listen. Meet Amina Saeed. The literary festival is nearly upon us. It's going to be taking place a little bit later this week. How are preparations going, and what's the sort of main pull or attraction for this year?
Well, preparations are going very well, very hectic.
I can imagine.
The entire team is on it. Mm-hmm. And it's really a race against time. Because, changes occur sometimes at the last minute. There's some emergency, somebody can't come.
Yeah.
So we have to, get a replacement. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, it's been wonderful. We've enjoyed it. We enjoy working together.
Yeah.
And it's opening on Saturday, 22nd of November at Habitt City at 1 p.m. We'll have the inauguration, which will be quite an elaborate inauguration. We have speeches, 3 main speeches, Dr. Ishrat Hussain, Shandana Minhas, the novelist who's coming from London to participate, and Zahra Nigah, Kishore Nahid, leading Urdu poets. They'll be there at the inauguration. And the person who actually makes it, our host, our venue host, Munis Abdullah, will be talking. And then we are going to actually pay a tribute to people whom we've lost. People in literature, in the arts who have passed away. And we will not do it through a minute's silence or a speech. We'll do it through a song.
Wow. So you're going to have a live performance?
Yes, a live performance by Shema Sayyed. And it's a song called Tum Yaad Aaye, that we miss you.
Oh.
It's a very moving song, and it's been composed by Arshad Mahmood, who's one of our leading musicians and composers. And actually, we are going to use music a lot throughout the 2 days. Even in sessions, when there's a song that somehow resonates with that session, we'll have somebody sing it live before the session.
That's beautiful. So that's a new element, is it, to the
yes,
festival?
that will be a new element, because we are going to combine, earlier it used to be sort of book launches, panel discussions, and then music. Now we will integrate it. We'll have, one song in a session where it's relevant. So that will be something new.
Song can really kind of connect people in ways that, it's all words, isn't it? It's just the melody in which they're communicated.
That's right, yes.
Now, you are a prominent figure when it comes to the world of literary significance here in Pakistan. And I want to hear from you, really, about the journey that these kind of events have been through. Am I right in saying that this is the 10th edition of this festival?
That's right, it's the 10th edition.
How has it grown over the years, and where is it that you want to take it? Like, what's the trajectory of these kind of events like for you?
Well, I started the movement of literature festivals in Pakistan with the Karachi Literature Festival in 2010. So it's been 15 years. And I got a sense that people were getting a bit tired of the same old format.
Okay.
And it used to be a 3-day or a 4-day event with a lot of. I just felt there was a lot of talking, and then I felt that it's beginning to drag after 3 or 4 days. So now we've shortened them. This one is only a 2-day festival, not even 2 full days, because we start at noon.
Okay.
So 2 half days. And last year, we actually had 3 festivals. And it's not an annual festival. That's another change. And also, it is a moving festival. We had one in Lahore, we had one in Islamabad, and now one in Karachi. So that's a change. We've reduced the length. We've made it into a moving festival. We've introduced more music, more performance, more art. This time, for the first time, we are going to have performance art. That will be, it's organized by Amin Gulji, whose book we've published on the Gulji Museum. It's called Gulji Museum, the Handbook. So we will be launching that not just by discussion, but by artists who will actually be performing.
It's another way of trying to find people to engage, isn't it? And I think what you're noticing is perhaps more of a sign of the times, which is that because of things like social media, I think our attention spans in general have shortened. So people consume things differently. They don't necessarily sit and have these longer form kind of discussions and are able to engage for as long, which is something that I want to talk to you about because, you know, obviously reading is something that across the world it varies when it comes to literacy rates and how these kind of events impact people. I've done a little bit of research. I'm looking at literacy rates here across the world. UK, United States, Germany sitting at 99%, parts of South America 94%, parts of Africa it's very varied, 68% in Malawi, 73% in Egypt. But when it comes to Pakistan, the figures are stark, and I'm sure this isn't the first time that you're hearing them. 58%,
yes.
37% in Afghanistan, 31% in Mali and Africa. When you hear these figures, I'm sure you already know them, what's your view on what needs to be done? How do we increase them and better the situation? You're doing something at the forefront of it, which is promoting literature, but I think perhaps, is it fair to say that things need to be done well before we get to the point of literacy festivals?
Yes, absolutely. Well, you know, as you said, the rate is 58%, and even that is based on just being able to sign your name and not use your thumb.
Wow.
So, but actually that's not literacy. Literacy is when you can write a paragraph or read a paragraph. But right now 58% is based on being able to sign. So it's actually the actual rate is much lower.
So it's not perhaps a real indication of the situation across all these different countries.
That's right, yes. And I think it is a massive task. I think that public education has to be improved. You know, I've been publishing school textbooks for 30 years. And I focus on books, try to produce books that can be, that, you know, make the child a very active learner.
Yeah.
And not just a person who's sitting there and being, you know, given a lecture. So we're trying to, I mean, throughout our books, we're trying to get children to ask questions, to go on field trips, to work together, to collaborate, and learn actively and enjoy their learning. And in that, we have to introduce music and movement and dance, because they learn a lot through that and through field trips.
Yeah.
And by exposing them
By
to...
doing.
By doing,
yeah.
absolutely. And also by, you know, exposing them to different forms of learning. And I feel that Literature Festival is one form. You know, if they attend a Literature Festival, they will meet so many authors. And at our forthcoming Adab Festival that we're having on this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we have a very large, a whole hall that is dedicated to children. And we have creative writing classes. And again, in the writing classes, Taha Keher is organizing these. He's a celebrated novelist. He will talk to them about creative writing, how to craft characters or work on a plot. But we are also asking our novelists who are taking part in the festival to come and talk to these children about their experiences.
Yeah, so they can kind of find out, you know, and be inspired by actual people who are doing things that they might want to do when they're older. How do you choose who you give a platform to, both through the festival, but also through your publishing house?
Well, through the festival, we have a wonderful advisory committee. Zahra Nigah, who's a great Pakistani poet, Urdu poet, is the chair of this committee. But we have prominent people like Dr. Ishrat Hussain and Nurul Huda Shah, Taha Keher, who are also advisors, and we get a lot of very valuable insights from them.
Yeah, it does. It takes a team, doesn't it, of
That's
research
right.
to understand what's out there.
Yes, and we try and focus on emerging talent as well as established talent. Because when you get big names, then that's when the crowds come.
Yeah, of course.
So when the crowds are there, then we present a young or an emerging person.
Yeah.
So they can benefit.
Yeah, and it's so important to do that, to cultivate the next generation of authors or you know, and books to give them that platform. How do you balance when you're looking to publish books or you're looking to give you know, upcoming authors a platform? How do you balance kind of international standards with the talent that you're finding regionally?
Well, I think that, you know, the talent that we have here is world class. They just need a platform and they need support. And that is why that anyone that we invite to perform, we make sure that we pay them. Because we want it to become sustainable and we want lots of festivals to be held where these people get platforms.
Of course.
And they are paid for it. And I just feel that, you know, if they provided this kind of support, I think they reach international standards. I mean, Saif Samejo is coming here. He'll be singing. He'll have a whole concert, one whole evening. And he's been, recently he performed in Edinburgh. And he was, apparently it was very well attended and he was very popular.
Incredible. Do you think that Pakistani authors are getting the recognition internationally that they deserve, or do you think that there's still a little bit of work to be done to introduce the international community to the talent that you have here?
I think that some work has to be done. And that's why I feel that translations are very important, so that their books can be read internationally.
Yeah.
And we have just translated a book called Queen Zarqa. It's about a transgender, and it was written in Pashto. And now we have it in English, and we are launching it at this festival. So through translations, when books travel well,
Yeah.
and then we give prizes, literary awards. We give it for English, Urdu, Sindhi writers. And I think through the promotion of these festivals, especially through social media and through television, I hope that our authors and writers and our musicians and our artists are noticed in the West.
Yeah, yeah. Now I want to ask you a question about AI, because it is a hugely growing part of our world and it's seeping into everything that we do. How are you adjusting to the AI revolution? Because, you know, what threats, let's call it, will it perhaps pose to traditional ways of writing? And, you know, if you look at the way that some AI machines work, they can create stories and create books in a fraction of the time. They don't necessarily get those writer's blocks that some of the most incredible writers often get. So how are you sort of adjusting to the changes that technology are bringing?
Well, you know, I feel that we should take advantage of it because it does, it can be very helpful. For example, for imaging, you know, if you are designing books or designing covers of books,
Yeah.
you can get wonderful ideas. But of course, it all depends on the data that, you know, what your requirement is. You have to present that in great detail.
How you prompt.
Yes,
Yeah.
how you prompt the AI. And then when they respond, again, there's a lot of adaptation to be done.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will not be relevant.
No, it's a very good point. The way that you interact with these engines, let's call them, is massively based on what you input, and you have to be very clear a lot of the time. I can't let you go without asking you, and this is probably a difficult question, but do you have a favourite book or a favourite piece of literature of all time?
Well, actually, my recent one is, it's actually about my aunt, who was an Urdu writer, Hurratulain Heather, and many of her books were translated into English. I mean, I think in the last couple of months, I must have read half a dozen of her books.
Wow.
And I'm really enjoying them because they're about partition time, and they're about people who suffered, about women, how they were affected by the trauma of partition, what they went through, and what happened in the early years of Pakistan, what the society was like. So I just find them fascinating.
Yeah, that's what's resonating with you at the moment. And if you were to kind of give people advice on an author that is kind of upcoming, one of those authors you want to give a platform to, who should we be looking out for?
Well, I think Shandana Minhas, who's coming here. She's written this brilliant book called Firdaus Nama. I mean, that's her latest. She's written several. She's an award-winning writer. I think she's somebody to have on their list. And also we've published a book by Athar Tahir, who's written many novels, but now he's working on a trilogy. So this is the second of his trilogy. But they're not, I mean, you can read them separately also. Where Cicadas Sing. And this is about the experience of a young boy and, you know, his sort of environment, his growing up years. It's a fascinating book.
We'll have to read it to find out more. Well, Amina, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you, and I wish you the best of luck for the festival this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.